Speaker has declined the majority's request to recall Parliament before the elections. And subsequently also, we've also had communication from the Electoral Commission that apparently they are listening Electoral Commission. This was just a day after they publicly, through a leaked memo, did indicate that, well, if you're a media person and you want to cover this election, or a media house for that matter as well, they have restrictions. It will mean that despite the tens, if not hundreds of media outlets we have in Ghana, many of them very credible as it is, you will be restricted, including myself and the rest of the media general team, as to how many of the media houses, one, two, how many personnel in themselves could cover the elections from the constituency, regional to the national level. This did not go well, not only with civil society, but also in the general media as well. So we're here to discuss it. Let me just introduce to you, I have Hajia Loratu. He's a regular on the show. And thank you for joining us, Hajia Loratu.
Thank you for having me.
Great. And then we have Rodalyn Ayana, is with the Movement for Change and the Alliance. Good morning to you, Rodalyn Ayana.
Good morning.
You said the name of the alliance again is?
Alliance for Revolutionary Change.
You want to cause a revolution this election?
Yes. We are going to. The biggest surprise that is coming.
I see. Louisa Kwachi is also here, speaks for the NDC as well, one of the leading communicators. And thank you for joining us, Louisa.
Thank you for having me.
Right. A distinguished woman who has served Ghana very well, at least as far as I know in my journalistic career. First time I saw him was in the year 2000 when I was an intern. I served Rawlings, I served Kufuor, I served also Mills, we have Mahama. And you served a little bit under Akufo-Addo too. 3 months. Okay, great. So at least having served 3 months under the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government is also here. Nana Achimpim.
I actually work directly with Bawumia.
Okay. Nana Achimpim Jantwa, the daughter of Jantwa, is here.
F.A. Jantwa.
F.A. Jantwa.
Otherwise, people would think I'm Kwame's daughter.
All right. F.A. Jantwa, please go look out for him. And in our history, no F.A. Jantwa, I mean. All right. So we'll take you through. Apparently, the speaker has taken a position that many say he's right, others say that he's not. But what do you think? Do you think that the speaker is right by saying that, well, looking at the exigencies of the time, the members of parliament will have to go to their various constituencies, currently are even there campaigning, it's not right or appropriate for them to be reconvening here in Accra and be looking at urgent government matters? I don't know what we make of this as well, because this follows Afenyo Makin's urgent memo or letter to him. Hajia Loratu, what's the opinion concerning what now has become the public position of Speaker Bagbin currently on this said matter in government?
I don't think it has to be a matter of opinion by government. And before I even go on, let me say good morning to our viewers and good morning to my sisters and auntie on the panel. Good morning to you too. It's not a matter of opinion of government or opinion of anyone. It is what has happened. But the speaker has spoken. And when you go, I always refer to the parliamentary website. I'm having a bit of a challenge with it, but it stipulates the role of the speaker in parliamentary service of Ghana, and he's the head of the service and the chair of the parliamentary service board. And he has not hidden from us the fact that he's number 3 in this country. So if number three, he said number 3, Nanaya. If number 3 has spoken, he's the leader of parliament. But all I can say is, in all that he's done in the past few weeks, in all the decisions he's taken in the past few weeks, he's made reference to precedents. But what I pray and I say this with a lot of pain, what I pray that what Speaker Bagbin has done is not set or referred to in our future dealings as we move on as a democratic country.
Meaning what? He doesn't set a precedent that could haunt us.
I pray that we don't have the case where some time to come, it will be said that once upon a time, we had a speaker who was a lawyer, who had been part of the first to the seventh parliament of this republic, served as majority leader, served as minority leader, served in ECOWAS parliaments and the other regional parliaments, being chair of committees, was health minister, was works and housing minister, at a point was a member of the three wise men under the former President John Mahama's government. That such a person who became speaker, he even served as second deputy speaker, who became a speaker, set aside or ignored the ruling of a Supreme Court, which in his context is number 4.
How did the speaker ignore the ruling of the Supreme Court?
Was there a ruling by Supreme Court or not?
What did he do? He was in the House.
There was a ruling.
There was a convening of Parliament.
Court.
So
Supreme Court didn't go.
Is it your opinion that he ignored the ruling of the Supreme Court?
Supreme Court didn't go and meddle in parliamentary affairs. A case was taken to Supreme Court, a court of competent jurisdiction, the third arm of government.
How did you come to that conclusion that the Speaker of Ghana's Parliament ignored the ruling of the Supreme Court?
What I pray is that what Speaker has set now is never referred to as a precedence in this country. Because if anybody has that experience with all that has been said, it's Speaker Bagbin. Even us, lay people, know that when you disagree with a ruling of a court of competent jurisdiction, and no other than the apex court of this country, when you disagree, you either go for an appeal or you go for a review. The majority leader waited and to see how it will move. He waited and waited. Speaker wasn't saying anything. So he put in a request. The head of parliament has declined and says it should be after 7 December. Hopefully, so after 7 December. I just hope that in his own voice, it won't be too late to say I'm sorry to the people of Ghana. That's all I have to say about this.
Auntie Rodalyn, you take a look at it. What would you say is procedural or non-procedural about it? Or if you look at the explanations that the Speaker has given, it looks like not only are members of Parliament campaigning, the time is just not right.
Good morning to our viewers. Good morning to my fellow panelists here. And good morning to Mr. Alanchira Mating. You know, I guess Mr. Honorable Afenyo Markings must be a very sad man, starting from yesterday. I don't think that the Speaker has done anything wrong. The reasons he has given are very tenable reasons. We are very close to an election. Members of Parliament are out there campaigning. And I don't think that anyone in his right senses would even ask that you recall members of Parliament who are far away in Bunkurugu and all those places to come back to the House for 2 days and then go back. Just think of the expense. And Honorable Afenyo Markings, in his statement, was saying that there were critical government issues to be discussed. We saw a list of all those supposed critical government issues. I don't think there's anyone in there that cannot be dealt with after December 7th, when Parliament reconvenes before they all break up and go their various places. So I think that the Speaker did the right thing. And talking about precedent sets, it was the same precedent set that the Honorable Afenyo-Markins did not see to that led to this other precedent set supposedly being created by the Speaker.
You mean this could have been averted?
It could have been averted. It could have been averted.
How so?
This case should never have gone to the Supreme Court. This case could have been dealt with within the precincts of the Parliament House. I am very sure that on hindsight now, Honorable Afenyo-Markins is seeing that he was trying to kill an ant with a sledgehammer. I am of the view that the Speaker, with all the accolades that my dear Loratu has given him, is in his right set of mind. And therefore, him giving the reasons and asking Ghanaians to bear with him, because these are the reasons why, and he thinks that at this time, it is not feasible to call back Parliament. It's in the right direction. When Honorable Afenyo-Markins was going to court, you know, this whole idea of go to court, everything go to court, as if the court was the only place that could settle issues. You see, when you think that you have power, and therefore everyone is going to be dancing to your tune, sometimes when a drama goes off key, the dance changes, and you might just be dancing the same dance, not knowing that some beat has been taken off. That's what's happening to Afenyo-Markins and his group. They thought that they had everything for them because, after all, go to court. We have friends in the Supreme Court, so we can go there and get our case dealt with. It has been dealt with, but at what end? At what expense? No one should be blaming the Speaker today for what we have found ourselves in. We should put the blame squarely.
Urgent government business.
No, there's no urgent government business. Going to give what do you call it, tax exemptions to companies. This it's not.
Shadrach, let's apprise Madam Rodalyn of the urgent government business. Perhaps.
Yeah, maybe you should give me a list of the urgent government business.
Let's get the slide on television.
I don't see, of all the things that are there, the only thing that I find that one could consider is the issue of parliamentary a budget coming out for the first quarter of 2025. That was the only thing. But the rest of them can rest. They can all rest till after the elections. In any case, this government has less than maybe a month to be in power, to hand over and everything. And I don't see the rush to give tax exemptions to companies and individuals or whatever. This can be discussed in the next Parliament. So the Speaker didn't do anything wrong, and Honorable Afenyo-Markins should have dealt with all these issues in Parliament. He didn't exhaust all the avenues available to him. He felt that the best thing was to rush to court, and now the Speaker is also saying, this is my domain, and I play it the way I want to play it. Yes, the Supreme Court did give a ruling, and you cannot say that the Speaker did not try. He did try. When he recalled Parliament, the MPP didn't come. They didn't show up. So is it his fault? Is it his fault that the MPP didn't come? So he finally decided that, okay, Parliament is gone. Go home. And everybody went home, and they've gone to do their politicking. So what else do you want him to do? It is teaching us a lesson that we may be sitting there thinking that we have power to plan everything and thinking that it will go our way, but it doesn't always work that way. Because where institutions are concerned, every institution has a leader. And that leader, if that leader is a correct leader, and intends to work for this country, the leader will be doing just exactly. Are
you saying that what Speaker Bagbin has done in response to the request by
Afenyo-Markins
is
strong
MPP? Leadership?
Oh yes, it's showing leadership. It is showing leadership. He is telling them that I am the boss here. You went to some other place because you thought you could have it. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. So for me, the Speaker has done well. He has shown leadership. He has been he's been very candid with us, and he's been candid with them. And they should just accept it and let's move on. That's the way I see it.
Louisa, the Speaker has been the Speaker has been accused. If you listen to Katie Hammond, for example, at least the last 2 hours, I listened to him on one of the media outlets, and he categorically said the Speaker of Parliament is doing the bidding of the NDC. The Speaker also says that if you make reference to the Constitution, I'm well within my powers.
By the mention of Katie Hammond, I just got a memory refresh. And a glorious new day to Ghana. Exactly 4 years ago, a cabal of dishonest people decided to meet in a room to deceive the over 30 million Ghanaians we have in this country. So they came out and told us that they are going to absorb the utility that we are enjoying at the time. So government was going to pay, only for us to vote for them. And then the next minute, we were told that whatever was given to us was on a loan. So the good people of Ghana would remember that after they won the election and we had to pay, the prices of electricity bill were off the roof, over the roof. And then later we were told that we have to pay COVID levy because of the utility we enjoyed during that time. So the name Katie Hammond just refreshed that memory.
The explanation at that time was that we were having difficulties, so the government was subventing our living.
The difficulties now is worse than then. So back to the issue, Roland. I would want to take the opportunity to commend Speaker Babin for the incredible show of patriotism. When you read the memo that was sent by the leader of government business, he says that he would want the parliament to be recalled based on urgent issues. Then I asked myself one thing. If it is urgent issues, and if you look at the issues in there, one major thing that I would have been very interested in was the budget. You give them 28th, 29th, 2 days to discuss 22 issues. And that is not in the interest of the nation. We vote for people to go to parliament to represent us. They are not just there to be doing yeah. No. They are there to read, scrutinize, criticize, make suggestions to make sure that whatever bill that goes into that chamber is thorough and it is serving the interest of the nation. So if you give people 2 days, what were they're supposed to do? And then he tells us that this is urgent government business. That is where I find very intriguing. For over 7 years, 10 months, we are in the 12th month as it stands now because we are almost entering December. 7 years, 11 months. You couldn't do urgent government business. And key 3 things there that caught my attention was the revocation, the environmental bill. And okay, so now government is seeking to revoke government. When we were living in our nation, we were not having people mining in the forest reserves. All of a sudden, you introduce an ally that they should go and mine in our forest reserves. Then now, all of a sudden, you want to revoke that. 7 years. The first year you introduced it and you realized that our water was getting spoiled. We kept complaining. Civic organizations, opposition, the ordinary Ghanaian, the patriotic Ghanaian was complaining that based on that, our waters were getting spoiled. You didn't mind us. 4 or 5 days to election is when you want to pass that bill. And the other part I find amusing is the part where you want to give tax exemptions. I have always maintained that the various companies we have under one district, one factory, about 90% of them are not companies that were set from the scratch or were not companies that were supported based on merit. They just looked for companies that are their incorporation with their party members, their cronies, and then they decided to give some small amounts to them and then label their companies. I am being frank with you, Papa Ro. Are
you sure?
Walk the breadth and length of this nation and look at the companies that they gave the monies to for expansion under the one district. Good. How many? That's why I said about 90%. So there's a 10% exemption. And then now you want to give them a bye-bye bailiff since you are leaving office. Then it comes out to the conclusion that ever since government started doing business, what have we gained as a people? And when you talk about the issues of precedence and all of that, technically, per every parliament, by the 15th of November, parliament is on recess. They go back to their various constituencies, and what they ought to do is to show the people that they are giving an account My party, NDC, we uplift probity and accountability. So when people vote for you to go to Parliament to do business, you are not doing business on your behalf as a certain individual, but it's on the behalf of all the people in your constituency who gave you that mandate. So around this time, you go back to your people, give an account of the years you have spent in Parliament and what you were able to lobby and negotiate, and the state of the nation, you give that account to your people. The government business that they've done so far. I would want to take our minds to a quote by Martin Emela. He says, "First, they came for the socialists. I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists. I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me." The government businesses that they've been doing so far, DDEP, when they started this domestic debt exchange program, they were giving haircuts to the aged. You were not part, and you thought it wouldn't affect you. Now you walk to our homes, and our mothers and fathers who are on pension have become a burden on the household income. They said that they were going to give us a lean way by providing numerous jobs for us. What did they come to do? President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia ended up employing their family members under nepotism, and what they told us, the guys, was that their family members were qualified. Because you believed in that they were qualified story, here we are today. Unemployment rate of 14.7%. We cannot find jobs to do. We did not speak out then. Then they came to how they were abusing incumbency with the appointment of certain people to critical independent institutes in this nation. Then we said that they have that power. The president is exercising his discretion. They gave us people who were wearing political clothes. And today, as we speak now, Papa Rio, everything in this country is in shambles. So since they started doing urgent government business, what they have given us is a 14.7 unemployment rate. What they have given us is people who are above 60% in various homes, and they cannot even buy drugs for hypertension and diabetes they are suffering from. What they have given us is, when you walk the breadth and length of this nation, the waters that they have polluted and the food stuff that we are consuming. What they have given us is a free senior high school fantastic policy that they implemented symbolically, and people had to consume social rice that was repackaged, was unwholesome for our children. So as I wrap up, Papa Rio, whatever the speaker has done thus far is in the interest of the nation, because we need ample time to discuss, scrutinize, give some form of ideas to whatever bill that they intend to bring. It is not a matter of going to Parliament and saying, yeah, no. 7 December is not too far. May the good Lord see us through 7 December. Parliament will come back, and whatever business they seek to do, it will be done.
But Anania, you've been an experienced public servant before, and for a budget no year passed, and then even which budget?
Budget is for next year.
But it hasn't been read.
It's not for tomorrow. So let's.
And then even those exemptions under 1D1F, somebody will say that
the business support scheme that they
so somebody will say the way the speaker is behaving, it's a no.
You don't need them to give anybody an exemption. Me, I love Bagbin. Bagbin is great. He's a wonderful person. I mean, he's a bold person. If we had people like that, if we had 10 people, men.
Bold?
Yes, he's courageous. He knows what he's about. And I doff my hat out to him. He's a great man.
He's stealing the work of Parliament.
Who are the people? Who? Tell me who the people are.
They are on social media, they are in the public domain.
I beg you. He said that he let me say good morning to your viewers. Let me say good morning to my best friend Abduldan Latif. He had a great I'm tired though. He had a great walk at the weekend. You said what?
Abduldan Latif, who is he?
You've upgraded him from friend to best friend.
The MP for Ablekuma Central.
Okay. Were you at the walk?
No, I was in Kumasi.
Oh, okay.
So you see, when in speakers, maybe I came because of you today.
Thank you. We are grateful.
Very early in the morning, I set off. It was early, 1 a.m. So the point is that the speaker, when he responded, he quoted Article 296. because he said that he cannot use discretion to honor the request of Afenyomakin. MPP is a very laughable party. So they wanted to do government business and they wasted time up and down.
They were looking at constitutional issues because
because of spiritual issues, they couldn't sit at a certain place. That if they go and sit there spiritually, it was wrong. This is where it has landed them.
Spiritual issues, right?
That is what Afenyomakin said. He said because of spiritual issues, they cannot sit at them. It was on TV.
You are misquoting him.
Let's be fair. What is fair?
Go ahead.
I didn't the shop tell.
I'm taking notice.
Please, so check
it. Heckling.
296.
Haji, I hope that's not a strategy for today.
No, I won't agree.
Okay, please.
296. That is what Speaker Bagbin quoted. A and B. Where in this constitution or in any other law, discretionary power is vested in any person or authority, that discretionary power shall be deemed to imply a duty to be fair and candid. Do you get me?
Why is he being fair and candid?
What is that? He's being fair and candid. He's saying that in the business of Parliament, it is both outside and inside, at the plenary and at the constituency. At this time that we are here, members of Parliament are doing the other side, and that is the constituency. And you cannot call them back when it is 9 days to an election. Do you get me? How insensitive can Afenyomakin be to even think and conjecture that the people, MPs, PCs, who are campaigning outside of the jurisdiction of Accra should take 2 days to travel to Accra, 2 days travel, another 2 days to sit, to discuss 22 matters that you cannot even finish. Use 4 days out of the 9 to come and do their bidding.
So that will be 6 days in all.
Yes.
Travel in, out, and then do the work. Out of 9.
Out of 9 days.
You think that cannot be a sacrifice for Ghana?
This is not Ghana. This is MPP. They say what government business? The budget can be read after 7 December. 7 December will be still up to 7 January will still be the 8th Parliament. It won't be the 9th Parliament. So nobody can frustrate anybody, force anybody's hand to come. When they were supposed to sit in that chamber, they walked out because of spiritual matters. The B says that the exercise of the discretionary power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, or biased, either by resentment, prejudice, the due process of law. That is it. Whatever he has done here, it is not biased. It is not by resentment. He's not resenting anybody. It's not by prejudice. Do you get me? He's going through the due process. That's why he's quoted 296. He's quoted some...
Are you saying that because Afenyomakin and the rest of the majority decided to...
Which majority is that? Please don't go there. There's no majority in the House. The rest of the members on his side.
Okay. So are you saying that because Afenyomakin and his members on the side of Parliament decided to take the route of legality, as a result of that, the Speaker is also dabbling in that?
The Speaker is not dabbling in legality. He's talking law. And he's dealing, if he was dabbling in legality, he would have also gone to court. He is using he respects the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And the Supreme Court did not tell Speaker to open Parliament. The Supreme Court, what they said was to do with the vacant seats. So nobody, Laratu was saying that the Supreme Court says something and the Speaker hasn't done. He has not spoken about vacant seats. He said, I cannot open Parliament at this time. He's being fair. If I have 2 cities as a member of Parliament and I'm in my constituency, I want to use that money not to take transport to come to Accra, but to be in my constituency to help my people and also do my campaign. So I do not understand why Afenyomakin thinks that he can write to Speaker to bring people down. You see, even if he writes and the people don't come, why is he writing? They said they are majority in Parliament. They should just come, all of them from the MPP side. They can come and do their business because they don't need anybody. They are okay. Majority means overwhelming. That they can come on their own. Why are they not coming on their own? Whose support do they need? They don't need any support. You see, the speaker said something. He said national interest will be served in the letter if members exhibited conduct of honor, empathy, and humility in the performance of their duty. Empathy. If you have empathy as a leader, you know that it will not be good for you to get somebody to come all the way from Boy, Salaga, to come to Accra. Even Kintampo.
Or Tumu.
Or Tumu.
Paga.
All the way.
So you're siding with the speaker?
100% sharp. I am with him. I've always been with him and I'll always be with him. He's a great man. One of the best.
Nania?
Yes. Laratu is saying that speaker should say sorry to whom? Baumia should say sorry to us for bringing these electric cars in town when we are in Dumso. What do you use to charge the batteries of the electric cars? I am asking. If somebody should tell me if I'm wrong. Me, I'm a Ashanti girl from Ekurase. What is used to charge the batteries of the electric cars for you to move? Is it not electricity? I am asking you. Somebody should tell me. When we are in Dumso. So how can you bring 100 electric cars when we are in Dumso? No, I'm asking you. Me, I don't know. He is the one who should tell us that he's sorry. Why should Bagbin come and say that he's sorry to us? Papa Ro, tell me, what has Bagbin done wrong? Has he promised anything to us and he has not delivered? Somebody who said he will give us a good life. He will arrest the fall of the city. He will build more factories. Now he has run to digitalization. Meanwhile, digitalization is not even working. The man who said that, somebody has said that they are going to review free SHS and it is a lie. And it is not the best. He went to Mount Horeb Prayer Center to say that he's going to...
Mount Horeb?
At
the church video.
At the church, yes, it was on your set.
Yeah.
He said that...
That's Mount Horeb.
Yeah, that is your headline. He said Baumia to improve free SHS. What is he going to improve? Something that is good, sacrosanct, there is nothing wrong. Now you are going to improve it. Papa, what is the meaning of that? Such a person should tell us sorry. Not Bagbin who is doing the right thing. Not Speaker Bagbin. I also want to say and correct everybody that Bagbin is number 2, he's not number 3. Because we have 4 arms of government. The executive. The vice president is not number 2. He's part of the executive. It is 1. 2, legislature. 3, the judiciary. And 4, the 4th estate of the realm, the media. It is as simple as ABC. And for whatever it is, he's not using it for anything.
This one, I'll send it to Supreme Court.
So take it to Supreme Court.
You go to Supreme
I'll be very happy. Yes, they'll go to Supreme Court. The auntie, please go to Supreme Court for me.
Because you can't say that Bagbin is number 2.
You get me? So the point is that Bagbin has not done anything wrong. He is saying that 22 days, you can't go through all your wish lists. That is going to help you. You are going to get a grant, free money. You are going to do ABCD. It cannot happen. So, he cannot open Parliament for you. He's holding the keys. If they like, they should go and wrestle his arm and take the keys from him.
Hadia, at this rate, what do you think that could be done by way of intervention so that at least we appeal to Speaker so that he meets also Majority Leader or Apenyo Makin halfway?
Nobody is coming.
Paparo, let's put these issues in context. And let's also remember that the people of Ghana, that the Parliament of Ghana represents. The moment a parliamentarian gets into Parliament is the constituency, not the party on which ticket the person went into Parliament.
Is that the position now?
Parliament, please, let me finish. Parliament, that is why the person is called Member of Parliament for a particular constituency, not for MPP or NDC. When this whole issue started, and Majority Leader Fenyo Markin took it to court. His first application to court was to interpret the article, is it 57? That was being used. 97. And that was 97. That was when Honorable Aruna Idrisu went and stood on a campaign platform and made that pronouncement. So he went to seek interpretation. Then he came to Parliament, and the Minority Leader, Atofos, made a statement. A Speaker came after a day or two and gave his decision declaring the seats vacant. That was when he went back to court to challenge it. That particular decision by Speaker, Supreme Court said it should be stayed in October. I think that was around the 12th or early October. Then, when the Supreme Court ruled that the declaration of the seats wasn't right? That was 12 November.
What's your point with that?
12 November. So if Speaker really had the people of Ghana at heart, this would have been done. But you see, just as the NDC thinks, the
Speaker absented himself.
Just as the NDC thinks that anybody who's had a stint with the MPP or been a part of the MPP, given any position in this country, they are biased towards the way. In that logic, Speaker was NDC MP, first Parliament, second Parliament, third Parliament, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh.
What's that got to do with it?
It's got to do with everything.
But he was approved by the whole House, and at the time, MPP had 137 seats. The independent member of Parliament supported them, and they formed the majority.
How was the Parliament constituted? There was a majority side with a leader, and there was a minority side with a leader. The majority side sits on the right of the Speaker in the chamber. The minority sits on the left.
That is true.
That is how we've been running our Parliament.
That is true.
This particular Parliament started with a lot of chaos. We are not going to be part of that chaos if that is what the NDC wants. It won't happen.
Are you saying it's the NDC side that brought the armed groups into Parliament? Did you see the soldiers? Sandra, can you recall the soldiers who entered Parliament?
Parliament was what?
So the NDC is the government of the day that ordered the soldiers?
Soldiers coming into Parliament was something we all didn't agree with.
So what are you talking about?
But that chaos is something that the MPP is not going to be part of again. There were seats with names and tags. Let's come back to Speaker. Before he recalled Parliament, the day that, was it the day that Supreme Court ruled, or a few days after, National Council of State, led by the chairman, went to him. President Kufuor had cause to call on him to show leadership. A day before he recalling Parliament the first time. No, that was the second time. That was the second time he declared Parliament adjourned indefinitely. That was when he recalled Parliament, after a request started being made. A day before that, and that is why I said, in his own voice, I hope that after 7 December, it won't be too late to say sorry to Ghanaians. I didn't say he should come and say sorry to Ghanaians, Nanaya. But in his own words, when he had that press conference, journalists asked him a specific question. Will sitting who sits where? He declined to give that direction. And for me, that was just setting the stage for chaos. Who is the leader of Parliament? He's Speaker. Who chairs the board of Parliament? He's Speaker. So if the
who took the matter to court?
Who took the? Where else do you take? Do you seek interpretations when it comes to our constitution? Where do you seek? Where do you seek?
Do you know Roxanne?
Hey, my eyes are here.
Haja, do you know Roxanne Nelson?
Where do you seek interpretation when it comes to the constitution?
The Supreme Court.
So let's even assume going to court was wrong.
Haja, do you know Roxanne Nelson, the member of Parliament?
Please.
He says, yeah, he's an NDC MP. Yes, granted.
Is he not?
Oh, now he's a Ghanaian.
He's a Ghanaian.
Now he's a Ghanaian.
Yes.
But people who
No,
be giving
please,
are colored MPP.
Now,
You see the hypocrisy.
Now, Hadia,
the double standards and flip-flopping of the NDC.
Please, come to me.
Yes.
Come to me. Okay.
Answer me. Where do you seek interpretation when it comes
Supreme
to law?
Court, I have said that.
Not only where do you seek interpretation?
So Roxanne Nelson,
so was it wrong to
the legal practitioner and also the lawyer, does state that the Speaker took a decision, and as a result of that, he would want to urge the leader of government business to go back to the Supreme Court to determine whether or not, in exercising the Speaker's discretion in this matter, to decline the request was proper.
I didn't get you.
He's asking that the leader of government business, Apenyo Makin, should, if he thinks the discretion or the discretionary power or decision that was exercised by the Speaker is wrong or untoward, should head back to the Supreme Court.
Parliament was supposed to go on recess when? On the 15th of November, right? The decision by Supreme Court was on the 12th of December. Parliament had 3 clear days before recess. Even when Parliament is on recess, there are emergency sittings when there's urgent business to be taken care of. That is why I said, may it not be set as a precedent that a Speaker ignored the ruling of the third arm of government, which is the judiciary.
But he hasn't done that.
He hasn't done what?
He hasn't done what?
He hasn't done what? He hasn't done what?
The Supreme Court.
They need to convene.
The first thing, they need to convene when?
They are on recess.
When a decision is supposed to stay, what does it mean? That you hold on to it till a proper.
But he was in the House.
He went to the House.
MPP side was not.
He went to the House. Where was the NDC sitting? We're not sitting at where the MPP was supposed to sit. If sitting was not important, they could have sat outside and be part of Parliament. But they went. But you see, now they've realized that whilst they were there, fighting over seats, waiting to fight and throw blows, and we rejected that chaos. When they went back to their constituency, they realized that Dr. Mahmoud Mawumia had led his PCs to do a lot of work in the constituencies. So now they are panicking. But with the same logic of the NDC, let's not forget that Speaker Bagbin is NDC.
I have this one from one of our ardent viewers. He's called Don. And Don says that, okay, he says he's liking the Organa dress, all right? And then says, Mr. Afenyo-Makin lives in Winneba, 2 hours away. My MP is in Nadoli in Upper West. The roads are so bad and he must come to Accra. How does that work? I'm told that we have Dr. Makoba on the line. Let me just have some 5 minutes with him. Good morning to you, Dr. Makoba.
Good morning.
Perhaps looking at the response of the Speaker, we have to take some counsel from Roxanne Nelson Dapamako, who says that perhaps also the leader of government business, Afenyo-Makin, should head to the Supreme Court to perhaps seek interpretation on how the power of discretion that the Speaker was expected to exercise has been poorly exercised. What do you think?
If he goes back to the Supreme Court, then it means he's a fool.
Please
we
say.
have already been told the Speaker is in charge of organizing Parliament, not Supreme Court.
Okay.
You see? And by that power, you can call them or not call them. He can give you any reason which will be bona fide. So what the woman is saying there is neither here nor there. It's time the NDC people, they grow up. They say they are parliamentarians, they don't know their own rules. Right now, the only thing that will save the day is for them to initiate a process where they can talk. Afenyo-Makin should get someone to intercede on his behalf or represent him. Because right now, the two of them, the Speaker and Afenyo, don't have good relations, I can tell. Because of what Afenyo did. We went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court itself told you shouldn't have gone there. You are going again. Go. The power is in the Speaker's hand. So you have to prevail upon him to please let's talk about this. So right now we are so close to elections. Everybody is looking to score points. So if you say you are in charge, go ahead. He has the power. The Speaker is following his authority as mandated by the Constitution. There's nothing you can do. You should realize, as the MPP people, that we are at his mercy now. So we have to talk to him, try to prevail upon him to call Parliament. But this is not how you do it. Just go and say, call Parliament. No. You talk behind the scenes. Get some elders to talk for you. That's how you do it until peace comes. If in 2 days you can call Parliament on an emergency basis. But if you do what you are doing, you won't do it. What are you going to do?
Right.
If it doesn't do it, what are you going to do?
Okay. Dr. Wakuban, the practicality of the Speaker's responses, what do you make of it? He says that currently, well, urgent government business, I acknowledge that. At the end of the day, we only have, let's say, 9 days, 10 days to the election. Some MPs live far off, travel far off before they come to convene in Accra. So that makes good reason, good sense. What do you say?
Well, in a way it does, but it's not everything. Because if you are in the north, that's the furthest away from Accra. If that's the furthest away from Accra, go back to Tamale and take a flight. Well, how about that? Go back to Tamale and take a flight to Accra. Can't you do that? The government will pay for it. What's your issue here?
They are campaigning.
So that is not exhausting. The whole thing is that he has to decide whether to do it or not to do it. It's not based on any law. It's his discretion. He is in charge of it. He decides. And you should know that this is how it is. He decides, therefore, it's not based on you going here or going there. Talk to him.
Okay.
Let's sit down and talk. But don't bring up your marking in it. Exclude him. Maybe somebody else can represent him because he has poisoned the whole thing. What he did is what has brought this all about.
You mean Mr. Apenyomakin, his actions brought us this far? Are you saying Mr. Apenyomakin's actions, his own actions brought us this far?
Yes, I'm saying that because he should have gone to the Supreme Court. This is a parliamentary affair that they should talk about and decide. Not Supreme Court Chief Justice decide for them. In fact, he said he has no locus in the matter at that point. Why did he get himself involved? Why? It's all politics, you see. Why did she get herself involved? They have the parliamentarians should talk and come to some sort of agreement, reasonable agreement. Now you run off because you think the Supreme Court is behind the government. Okay, now let's see what happens. This is what has happened. You see.
Dr. Wakuban, I've always loved you. Since you returned from the US, you've contributed to our political discourse, influence policy on the governance process, etc. And you are saying that we should have adopted a more reconciliatory tone, have people come in to speak to the Speaker, bring everybody on board, including Apenyomakin and everybody else. That could have been the better way. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Most likely, the impasse would have been broken.
I see.
If they did that, most likely. You have MPP has its leadership. Let Apenyomakin sit aside. Let the next person represent them. These are senior members of the party. They're not everybody, but a few, maybe 5 people talk. And you talk to apologize. I'm sorry, he didn't do it right. Okay, so what can I do? You can't do that. Is it arrogance or what? Don't you know your own rules? He is in charge. Then we tell them again. He is in charge, just as the Supreme Court Chief Justice is in charge of the Supreme Court, but he has no jurisdiction over Parliament. He doesn't. Get it in your head.
Dr. Makuba, apart from being a political scientist and then also a governance person and a lecturer, I also know that you're a leading member of the MPP. You one time wanted to be a chair, so it's as if you're not siding with your party.
I'm not siding with my party at all.
Why?
Because they got, when I listen to them talk, even now they are not sorry what has happened. How do you bring peace when you talk like that? That other woman is explaining what are you explaining? What are you talking about? He is in charge. Get it in your head. He decides when Parliament opens. If he doesn't want it open now for whatever reason at all, which he can come up with 10 of them, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do.
All right.
So the whole answer is prevail upon him to agree. That's it. Not any technicalities. It didn't open and this and emergency. What? This is how you read the law. If he's in charge, he controls Parliament. He controls Parliament. He organizes Parliament. That means he decides. That's it.
So
that's all you have to see.
All right. Thank you.
Even if it's an emergency, he has to decide that the emergency is bona fide before he calls Parliament.
Wow. It's an interesting position you hold. But Hajia Loratu is the person you refer to as the woman.
Yes.
That woman. She doesn't take kindly to that. So...
well, I don't know her name. I don't know her. This is the first time I've seen her.
Okay.
So what should I do her?
Okay.
Hajia Haraki. Okay.
Hajia Loratu.
Okay. That's the lady I'm talking about.
Yeah, the number one. The one with the number one T-shirt.
Yes. So now you are still fighting with the speaker. I have stands now. You are still fighting with him. We'll see what will happen.
All right. Dr. Amwakuba, the distinguished professor of political science, and then also teaches the subject KNUST, one of the leading governance persons and also a politician as well, one of the leading members of the MPP, and Auntie Rhoda. So
Amwakuba has said it all.
It looks like no,
please. We don't have adequate time as for women.
Yes,
you've given most time to the man, the doctor, to speak. Are you going to give back our time? Because it is not part of the arrangement.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll find out. He only spent 5 minutes.
He spent more than 5 minutes.
I didn't see you put a time.
I was looking at it.
All right. Okay. What do you make of the position that Dr. Amwakuba?
Dr. Amwakuba has said it all. I still stand by the fact that the Speaker is the leader of the House. And he finds that this is the best way to go. I also agree with Dr. Amwakuba that they could have found other ways, or they should find other ways of solving this issue. Honorable Afenyo Markins brought this onto himself, and he must probably recluse himself so that other people could come in and try to settle it. I don't think this thing would have happened if it was Honorable Chairman Sabunsu, who has so much experience.
Really?
Yes. This shows a sign of immaturity in political activities and political work concerning the Parliament. I don't think that Afenyo Markins, for me, was the right person to have actually led the MPP in Parliament. In all his dealings, I have found him to be very erratic in some of his pronouncements and decisions. And I think that this is one that will show the MPP that the next time they should do due diligence to choose the correct person to represent them.
One thing that Dr. Amwakuba said, and early on, of course, when we had the case before the courts, many of you, including Nania and Hajia, everybody thought that we should bring maybe Council of State, other people in to do the interventions more. Jaw, talk.
Some other people could have been involved in this.
You think that could have done the trick?
It could have done the trick, maybe. But to run straight because you think that the Supreme Court, or you have friends in the Supreme Court, and therefore you just jump there. This is where it has gotten us. And this should be a lesson to everyone, that it's not always that you get what you think you will get and then it will favor you. You understand? Yes, you've gotten a judgment that says that Parliament should allow for you to sit majority. But then the Speaker has specifically, during his press conference, he stated that it is not within his permits to go and tell you where to sit. That's what he said. He said he's not the one who decides who is majority and who is minority. That is just for Parliament to do. And therefore, I don't see why.
Is that right?
Whether it is right or not, that is what the Speaker says. It is his Parliament. Right? It is his Parliament, and that is what he's saying.
He shows what has to be done.
No,
someone doesn't do
no. Maybe there is somebody there who's supposed to be seeing to that. No, but that we might think that it is not right. Just the same way that we believe that whatever was written in the Constitution in black and white did not need any Supreme Court interpretation. So what the Supreme Court came out with, was that right? Those are the questions. So it's a question of you telling us what you think is right. The Supreme Court came out and gave a ruling. Let them go back to where they were. And you think that that was right. But you don't think that for us Ghanaians who read black and white, that there was precedence, and when this happens, you're not supposed to take this action. And Afenyo Markins went to the Supreme Court for another interpretation. So this is how it is. Bagbin is the leader of the House. When he says that he has no hand in who sits in majority and who sits in minority, I agree with him, because there must be some committees that work with these things, not necessarily him. So that's it.
Louisa, so we need some interventions. Is that the position now? Or could we have adopted a better way to deal with this?
I have always maintained that when you have a leader who do not think about the general good of the people, but thinks about spiritual connotations of the seat he sits on and where that seat is placed, is very problematic for our democracy and for the development of the nation. There has always been how Parliament conducts its business. From where I sit, I think this is about the first time I have seen such an incident happen in our body politics as a student of political science. What we ought to do as a people is not to look at any malicious intent that the MPP would want to paint to us this morning. Whatever the speaker said, Papa, I thought he said Shadrach should put up the speaker's response, or was that of... If you see the speaker's response, there was nowhere he declined the recall. He only said, in the times we are in, and in the national interest. And if you are even looking at it holistically, whatever the speaker is doing now is even for our electoral integrity. Because as we sit now, as we speak, there's been a lot of rumors, there's been a lot of name calling, there's been a lot of hand pointing and all of that, that the EC is set to rig the election. And we've always said in the media space from a lot of commentators that the MPP is in bed with the EC. So Speaker is saying that to even make whatever processes we are going through now better, accountable, and for the general good of the people, stay in your constituencies, do whatever campaigns you want to do, stay vigilant from both divides so that it doesn't go against anybody. We maintain the peace and the integrity of our elections. Is that a crime? I don't see where the speaker said that he is not going to recall Parliament. We will wait till on the 7th of January, then we dissolve Parliament. No. He accepts that there is business that has to be done. But the key thing we should be looking at and be discussing is the importance he puts on government business. He says that 2 days is not enough to discuss 22 items. That is what was contained in his response. So he is looking at it on the broader scale. While Laura is telling us that we should just go down and sit and that they were trying to avoid whatever they have to do, I don't think as part of the same web page that she opened, that she was seeking to tell us the mandates of the speaker. I don't think it is included there that the speaker is the one who arranges chairs in Parliament. The speaker does not arrange chairs. And assuming without admitting that you even mean government business, you are the leader of government business. You work in the chamber, and your fellow Ghanaians, they are your brothers, they are your sisters. We are all there representing our constituencies for the general good of the people. No, Papa, hold on. That is why I'm saying that if you want to do good, from what the doctor said, he said we should go beyond the quarters. Why can you not swallow your pride when it comes to the people of Ghana?
Which pride?
The pride of Afenyomarket. I have been following the whole processes and I was waiting to see a salient point being raised. And all that he said when he came out of the courtroom was that spiritually it is wrong for him to sit at the minority side. That is the logic he gave us.
Well, that's his opinion.
That is his logic.
Because
I don't think
he believes that the Supreme Court had given an outcome. And so logically, he believes that the speaker should be acting on that or taking due cognizance of it.
So you go to Parliament. You talk through it. I don't think any individual elected a parliamentarian to go to Parliament to be thinking about the spirituality and the numbers on the seats they sit on. It is for the general good of the people. And then I hear, Papa, let me just talk about this one. In rebuttal of what Laura said earlier, of the employment of party cronies and all of that, and that when the name Daffy Amapo was mentioned, I said he's a Ghanaian. Daffy Amapo is a Ghanaian. based on merit, he was voted for to be in Parliament. He didn't get up and say, I feel like I want to be a parliamentarian. He works there. The merit of being a parliamentarian sitting in Parliament is the vote that the people cast for you. You were declared by Electoral Commission and you were sworn in on 7th of January. So that is his merit. The merit of the MPP people who have run this country down. Let's talk about Ken Ofori-Atta. He was appointed as a family member of the president to the Ministry of Finance. Was he qualified? Time exposed him. Every time he borrowed, he made a commission for his company.
Qualified. If you are talking about his experience,
he was not qualified.
And education, yes, he was qualified.
The
and
sweetness of the pudding is in the pudding.
The sweetness of
the sweetness of the pudding. No. Hold on. I'm saying it's in the pudding. It's in the
sweetness of the okay. You are conceptualizing it.
It's in the pudding. Because whatever he gave us to eat was not that pudding we prepared for him. We gave him a state where our debt stock was not over 130 billion. When he came, every time he was borrowing, we kept telling him that borrowing is not the solution to whatever mess we are in now. He kept borrowing. So that pudding we gave him was a country that was not in a critical economic mess, but he gave us a pudding to eat that he had run down our economy, borrowed a lot for his gain. And that is the kind of people the president appointed to various positions in this country.
Nania, what do we do now?
Let me say good morning to Daffy, my own Daffy. That is lawyer Daffy Amepo. That is my Daffy. Daffy, good morning.
Daffy. I didn't know he's called Daffy.
Yes.
This is a pet name.
Yeah, pet name I've given to him.
Things are knocking things.
Yes.
From best friends to pets.
What do we do now?
What do we do?
Because Dr. Makuba said we should.
You see,
we need interventions beyond writing formal letters.
We don't need any interventions. When Afenyo Makin was misbehaving and behaving in the manner he was behaving, who stopped him? There is nobody in MPP who can stop Afenyo Makin because the behavior of Afenyo Makin is an epitome of the character of MPP.
No, you can't make those conclusions.
I am drawing conclusions. Even the Dr. Amakumba, that you all respect, today he exhibited it. How can you call a woman that woman? And he didn't even apologize. He said, I didn't know his name. It is an epitome of arrogance. So who is there? When Afenyo Makin was doing it, who stopped him? Why should we now put who was urging him on behind the scenes to continue? So who will be there to go to Bagbin? When a child misbehaves at home, there's always a parent who will say, stop what you are doing. If nobody stops that child at home, it means there is no credible parent around. Do you get me?
I do.
So who are you going to call? From where? From CVP?
Maybe former President Kufuor, other people.
He's also a member of the UP Trading. Right now, they say we should treat him as a member of the party, not as an elder state. No. When he talked about Alan, the MPP said we should treat him as a member of...
Nanaya.
What in Nanaya? They said it.
No, but he himself has said that he's
yes, he said he's a... yes.
So you are saying that if, let's say, former President Kufuor comes in right now, it will be seen to be political.
I'm talking about my own uncle Blood. I am saying that they said, and he has not refuted it, that he is a member of the MPP.
Council of State.
But Council of State was involved. Afenyo Makin didn't mind them.
National House of Chiefs.
Why are we stretching that far? Somebody's
National Peace Council.
No, please, somebody's arrogance has brought us this far and we are pampering the person. I don't also agree with Dr. Makuba when he said that government should buy tickets for them to come, plane tickets. They should use our taxpayers' money to buy plane tickets for parliamentarians because of somebody's arrogance. Because of somebody's mistake. You know how much a ticket to Tamale is? To Takrade. What about those who cannot come by air? What about those who cannot come by air? The whole bunch of MPP people are arrogant. So you cannot get to one of them. Because when he was doing it, the 136 members, let's say 134 members, urged him on. Dr. Makuba is saying that the experienced MPs in there who could have,
That's Andy
but they were, but they were,
Kenny Japan.
Please, were they not there with
the former majority leader was Chairman Sambos.
I am saying that
Katie Hammond.
Please, Katie Hammond spoiled the matter. Uncle Katie, there, he spoiled the matter. Don't bring his name. If you want people to go and intervene and arbitrate, but it's too late. We have 9 days to election. Parliament was open twice. You did not come. You said spiritual matters. You are doing spiritual direction. Your pastor or whoever. Possibly it's not even a pastor because they couldn't even build the house of God. My house shall be called a house of prayer, not a den of robbers. $58 million. Today, Shra said we should investigate them. So I don't know who gave him the direction.
The cathedral?
Yes. That is the house of God, which has become a den of robbers. So I don't see why we are belaboring the point. That we should go and call who? To come and intervene.
What do you make of the EC's position on accrediting media houses?
You see, media houses are doing voting, I believe, on the
special voting on the second.
All media houses should vote against MPP so that they can get their freedom.
We have the security and the media.
I said the media houses. I haven't mentioned security. Me, I'm a journalist. I'm talking to my people. They should vote against MPP.
No, I'm talking about.
You let me finish. They should. Yes, they should vote against MPP sharp. Everybody in the media for our freedom. We shouldn't let these people just mistreat us. What is EC talking about? This is mischievous.
Mischievous?
Of course. Why can you tell me that they are selected credible media? Who are they? I don't know if Media General is one of them. Who are these credible ones that we don't know? The sons of God and the sons of the devil. We don't know. How can you see this one? It is an affront to our democracy. Yes. It's an affront to our democracy. It is a disgrace to media freedom that we tout everywhere that Ghana, we have media freedom. Do you get me? It is an issue to do with transparency. It is closing the door on transparency.
You think it's deliberate?
Yes, it is mischievous. What is the reason for this kind of limited accreditation? In the past, accreditation had been given to all media houses to come and cover the collation of the elections. Right now, it is not only the media. They are even saying that the foreign observers should not be part of it. It was about 2 months ago or a month ago that the CSOs were prevented from getting observer status.
They still haven't been. They said they should write again to appeal.
Now they are talking about online. That those doing the online media, Facebook, blah, 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 all those people, they are not part of it. How can you have a leader who is preaching digitalization and doesn't want online media to cover the elections?
I don't understand.
A leader, Baumia. Let me sit well.
Is Dr. Baumia the easy?
Oh, let me talk.
What is that?
Everybody knows
digitalization that you want.
No, but you are promoting digitalization that the Ghana is going digital.
That is true.
And you are saying online. The news, the media people who are online, who do the online stories, they are not supposed to be there. Can you? Why should it? It is true. Is it not true that EC is preventing?
They are playing that and saying they should stop.
Okay. Then you are on right path. So the point is that the EC is stopping even online journalists. What they are doing already, the public, they don't have any confidence in the EC. The Afrobarometer, yes, and now they are deepening.
Dr. Boston Asari said, I spoke to him 2-3 days ago. He said it's not credible.
What is not credible?
Afrobarometer. He said it.
So it's not credible. Okay.
So they are suspicious.
They are suspicious. Then we are saying that people don't trust them. Ghanaians do not trust them. Because what they are doing is bringing about a lot of suspicion. The onus is on the MPP to talk to EC to do the right thing. Because this is very, very suspicious. It looks suspicious. It looks very mischievous, as if they have a plan to do something. Do you know that even before, ordinary people will go to the collation center and also even help to count. Even when there is a recount, people stand there.
Some even film.
Yes, and
report it.
Yes, now you are saying that you are preventing the media who will come and tell us what is going on there not to be there. You are going to. So how do you even how do you even monitor it? If somebody in the district, a district EC officer decides to pick people who are only MPP people, how would we know? Like the way they were transferring names. How would we know? I am telling you, Papa, no, this one, but you see MPP who allowed them, they are going.
No, this is EC, it's not MPP.
They are part of it.
They are part of.
Oh, why are they not? Their fingerprints are all over.
Have you become a forensic officer now?
My eyes can see.
So the EC says that it is talking with the GJ and listening to other bodies, but they had intended 12 media houses per regional collation center. They also continued in that memo, 5 television stations, 2 people per station.
You will not agree.
7 radio stations, 1 person per station. You know, you can have, for radio stations, they have those who take sound and all that at the same time. We'll see how that goes. But because our time is up, Haja Laura, thank you very much for passing through. And then Madam Rhoda Lenayana, the distinguished. And then also
because Dr.
Louisa
Bamia is not the easy.
Thank you very much.
He's the flag bearer of the new
as always. Are you going to
Yes,
Jericho Awa?
Yes, I'll go.
Fantastic woman. I wish you all the best. Please pray for me. The election is coming up alongside the media journalism.
Nobody is hearing you. We are finished.
Dr. Bamia is not.
We have cash out. It goes with a short code. Yes.
Please.
And inshallah, he's winning.
Nobody cares. He's not winning today, tomorrow, forevermore.
E-buses were launched. That is what
in
we are talking about. That is what we are talking about.
When you all power producers,
we have cash out. It goes with a short code star 439 hash. Now, please, Money Money says they love you so much.
If you call Dr. Bamia,
and then also, so my army general B said, love you too much. Then you're looking beautiful. And then greatest position.
I pray he votes for my candidate.
Okay,
by 9 December,
let's also tell you about how you need to make sure that you make your Christmas exciting. Because Maha Beach Resort is bringing you beachy tidings and sandy joy this Christmas. They are telling you that you have to book 2 nights and get a 3rd night free with all meals inclusive. And this is starting at 6,000 Ghana cedis for a couple. The package is also offering guests free access to all in-house facilities, the swimming pool available, the gym, cinema, popcorns as you watch your movies, board games, snooker games, and great entertainment. You can also enjoy free airport pickups if you arrive in Takrady on weekends. Remember, fun activities at the Maha Beach Resort period, and the package they have will also include a tour of their beautiful facility, which also has a golf cart, splash playground for children if you're bringing children along, bouncy castles and trampolines. They have bicycles, they have quid bikes, they have boat rides, they have jet skis that could even take you to the beautiful Maha village, and banana boats and party bus rides, all available as part of the package. In-house, they also have a great nightclub, so you can also be clubbing with live band, also available brass band. They also have some great trips as well. While you are at Maha Beach Resort, you can also go to the famous town on stilts, Nzulezu, and also Fort Apollonia available, Ankasa Forest trips, and then that famous Nkrumah Memorial House at Nkrofo. Make sure that you book and pay by the 1st of December. And by booking, you enjoy 10% extra discount. Just in case you want to call them, very easy for you to do so. So you have to do that very early enough for you to avoid all disappointment. Call the number 030-39777773 or 0501-570-684. And you can also email them, sm@maharesort.com. Well, you can also go search for them, Maha Beach Resort. They're on social media and also their website as well. And I tell you that it's a home away from home. You're going to have some great time. Paradise found under the palm trees this Christmas. That's why I have to say thank you for passing. And enjoy the time. We are going to bring you a lot right here on the show. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.